Hi, thank you for joining Global Elite Consultant, where we help you step by step to open up your own non medical home care agency. This week, we're going to talk about opening your agency in Washington, D.C., which is the District of Columbia. So, the first thing you want to do is decide on your name. What name are you going to use to start your agency? Then you want to figure out what's your structure. What do you want, an LLC or a corporation or sole proprietorship? You should always consult a tax person for tax purposes to see which company you should open, which structure you should go under because for tax reasons. If you're doing, I never advise sole proprietorship, but you may want to open that because if somebody was going to sue your company, they could attach your private assets. But if you're doing a LLC or corporation, they cannot touch your assets. Also, when you do a corporation, it's easier to raise money because you in the future you can take your company public, or you might just want to give out shares and raise money that way. Privately, give out 5% for every $100,000 or however you want to do it. But if you have shares, it's easier to raise money. Also, if you have like your husband or children, you might want to give a percentage to your husband or your children, for future. So that's why I like a corporation. I always keep, quite naturally, I'm going to always keep 51% because that gives me controlling interest in my company. So you're going to set up that structure. Then you need to go to irs.gov and fill out the application to get your EIN number, which is your employer identification number. When you fill out the application, it will give it to you right there online. And then you'll take that letter and put it in your files. What are you going to use for your phone service? I like Grasshopper. I think that's a really good phone company. They have an auto attendant, way to answer the phone. You could transfer. This is like a regular business phone. You could transfer the extension anywhere, in your office, or transfer it to your house, or you have a voicemail for vacation when you're away from vacation or when you're away from the office. I mean, it's really a professional setup. So I like Grasshopper. Also, let me see, you need a fax number. So if you don't have a fax machine, most people don't even use fax machines anymore, but they use a fax company. Like I like eFax. There's so many fax companies out there you could get. Let me see. You can also, for agency home care, you're able to run those from your home. If you want to start off having your agency in your home, the thing is that when the state comes out to do the survey, you will have to, whatever room you're choosing to have as your office, it has to be able to have a locked door on it. So you couldn't have your office like in the living room, or you couldn't share your office with your bedroom. You need to have a separate room. It could be it could be one of your bedrooms, but it's only used for the office. You would have had to convert one of your bedrooms into an office, and you could do it that way. Also, when you have your offices in your home, in your main door, the door coming to your house, you have to post something saying what your office hours are. Some people put a sign in there. If it's a house, they put a sign on their front yard, and some people just post something on the main door showing what your office hours are. And then again, like I said, when you come into the office have to be able, you have to lock the office when you leave the office, lock the room. Also, you need a file cabinet that is able to lock, because for your state patients, you'll have to be able to keep their files up to 5 years after your company closes, and it has to be kept quite naturally in a secure place. And like I said before, you have to be able to, when you close your office in the evening, you have to be able to lock the door when you leave. Or when you go to lunch and you're leaving out of, let's say, your office, you have to be able to lock the door when you leave out. So if you're going to follow those rules, then you can have the office in your home. Okay. If you're going to have a corporation or LLC, you do need to have a registered agent to be able to keep on file. So now I have a corporation, but I do my registering myself, so I am the registered agent, and you could be your own registered agent too. But if you don't want to do that and you want to assign somebody to do it, for Washington, D.C., it says go to the Department of Commerce and Regulator Affairs to be able to appoint a registered agent. That's for a LLC or a corporation. Okay, so in Washington, they're asking that you need to be sure that your business has a clean hands certification. It shows that there's no debt on your company. And I don't know if you pay $1,000 to the DC government, you'll have to call them to get more clarification on this. So you need some type of certification. It's called Clean Hands to make sure that your company doesn't have any debt. And also for all corporate registration documents, you have to make sure they're all in good standing before getting your license. And you also have to apply in Washington, D.C. for a basic business license. Most operating businesses need a basic business license. A home support or home care service typically falls under regular service category. You apply through the My DC Business Center online or in person at the DCHA. Okay. Then you have to apply, because Washington, D.C. does require that you have a home health license. So then you're going to have to go and put in an application to apply for a home care agency. You apply for that at the D.C. Department of Health, at the D.C. Department of Health. Okay. This license requires your agency to provide a non-medical services like personal care assistance, companion care, house making support, etc. You're going to submit your application, and there is an application fee. So to start this application is $1,750. Please check with this agency to make sure the price is still correct. To renew it, you typically it says you'll need to renew every year or two. You'll have to check with the Department of Health to find out. And that renewal is $1,050. And again, these are typical estimations, so you want to file with them to get, to find out exactly how much. I will put the contact information that you need to contact, where you could contact them directly and ask any questions that you may have, or go to their website. I'll put it I'll post it. Okay. You do know that you would have to do, a manager would have to do a background check. You need to get, business insurance. And you'll have to have the policy and procedure manuals. Now, if you're able to do all this yourself, apply for your license, and you just need somebody to help you with the policy and procedure manuals, we'll be happy to help you with that, just to do the policy and procedure manuals. They're going to run you anywhere between $2,500 to $3,000. You can give us a call at 720-591-2974. And I'll post that number also. That's 720-591-2974. That's Global Elite Consultant. Now, you will also, if you can't do it by yourself and you need somebody to help you get the license, the whole license and everything, just give us a call and we'll help you do that. So in Washington, D.C., because you need a license, the price for the agency plus for to get your certification for low income patients, which is like IHSS patients that the state will pay for, then your website and your policy and procedure manual, and then you'll have training 2 days a week from 11 to 2. All of your software that you need, we'll help you sign on for that, and we'll negotiate lower prices for you with the software. All of that is $15,500. So you would pay half down, the rest you pay on a monthly payment. If you can't do half and you need to do less than half, give us a call and we will, help you with that or negotiate a price with you. So we're just a step away, a feet away to help you do that. So when you get through filling out this application, they're going to give you a list of things that you have to return back to them, for them to complete your application process. They'll tell you what all they need, probably fingerprints, things like that, documents. They're going to want to see the policy and procedure manual. It's just a lot of things that they're going to ask you for. And, I think that's about it that's not it, but this is the beginning. It's enough to get you started. So I will also post, like I said, where you would go to fill out this application at online. I'll put that on here, where to go, so that you'll know. Okay, if you have any questions whatsoever, you could give us a call and we will help guide you in the right direction. Thank you so much for tuning in to Global Elite Consultant. Have a good day.